This is the source of the message from Yahweh, the Creator of all things. In 2022, the words of our Creator, Yahweh, came to me like this. You are a widow, says Yahweh. In Michoacan, Mexico in 2004, the body of the black widow spider came after the spells were found on all four walls, written with a black marker on toilet paper. That took a lot of time, long rolls all across the wall. Yes, that was creepy. That was Mexican Catholic magic by a preacher girl. I killed many of them in 1 month. I dreamed of one sitting in the corner. Then the next day, seeing one on my front door gate to my home. I had to kill it before I can go into the door. This is what I was seeing, a perfect match with my front door, to know that Yah does it all. This is what I was looking at my gate, in my game the next day. This is the image that the world faces today. It's the 8th gate of the goddess, the way of the world. This is why the world looks like a black widow, designed after its female leader by the hand of Yah. See the following natural colors used to hide the unnatural. Rulers of this world, designed by Yah. More information, read Revelations 17:18 and Isaiah 47. All the world is a black widow, says Yah. Crickets are for black widow spiders. It's their favorite food. While seeing the world leaders put bugs and crickets in food, I see more of the sovereignty and greatness of Yah the Great. He's the one who does it. He does it all. The spirit of the world is like a black widow spider. I do all these things, says Yahweh. Now see, our world system is made by Yah in the likeness of a black widow. These are the great powers of Yahweh. Our Creator wants us to see what He has made for us, a perfect match. The hourglass exactly the same shape of an eight legs, and the hourglass of the black widow. In Orion, 8 stars, and the hourglass. This is what the world is aligned to that rules the nations. The world is red, and so is its goddess. Nishanana is red. The cuneiform script to the left has 8 strokes, identifying her with the number 8, and her name means to be red. We also have Santa Quitera, the red one, who's associated with Astarte. The spirit of the world is led by a black widow. That is what the world agrees to, knowingly or not. It's the leaders who are aware. It even wants a black woman for a president to match. I remember Joe Biden asking for more black people in office, and he got them. And he stood right in the middle of 2 black women to reflect the spirit of this world, which is like a black widow. Yahweh reveals it by the black widow and the Orion correlation. 2 things He has made, 2 signs. The world is a shiny fool. The black widow is a shiny fool. Orion means full. Nazi means full. Lucifer means full. All the world shares these colors of the black widow, has a line to Orion by the number 8 and its mystery religion of Babylon, the 8th gate. It's the entrance to the city. The red door. Inanna, the mother city, the scarlet harlot who has many spiderlings or followers. There are acolytes. Take on nature and image of the one who's leading them. Kali, just like a black widow, the female deity, black with a little red, full of octograms, and number 8. My past Tibetan Buddhism matched these symbols as well. It's in my testimony. Above here is a Kali Yantra. Whom do you ridicule? Against whom do you make a wide mouth? Which is to speak loudly and stick out the tongue. Are you not children of transgression, offspring of falsehood? The Kali Yantra has the name of Inanna written into it. I'll reveal that later, or you can see the testimony video. Filmmakers shake their fist at Yahweh, and he sends COVID-19 to match the goddess religion of this world system. You are a widow, he says. 9 and 1 is a reflection of the number 8 to match the goddess religion in all the nations. Mu, Delta, Omicron, and B2. Each one of these stars in the constellation of Orion are also the names of COVID-19 variants, and each one are goddess symbols. During Super Bowl at LBI, I'd seen the spirit of this goddess religion in the film, and here Yahweh has taken me on a trail showing me the sovereignty. Below are the B2 queens. Yahweh has shown me that his greatness be known. He is sovereign. The COVID-19 variant stars match Orion and the Ishtar statue, Mu, Delta, Omicron, and Lamed. Right here. This is Omicron, the octograms, or number 8. Here is the bow, Delta. Mu will be the mother, the woman, the mother goddess, and the lion. And here is Lamed. That's a rod for discipline. And right here is the passage for water, where she says she is the source of life, like the Samaritan woman who went to Jesus. Most likely she was a follower of this type of religion, thinking that the mother was the source of water, of life. Here's a child of Yah. She fell from the Orion building as I was riding on the stars of Orion. Praise Yah for his greatness. Be strong in the power of his might. I have an article on this here. You can search for Orion B2 to see this here a little bit more clearly. The point was that each one of these are related to B2. Super Bowl, the Queen of Heaven here, Beauty Queen here, covariance here, chessboard, Orion. Yahweh validates his message to me as I go along and write articles or share. It includes many testimonies to share. The Super Spy shows that globally all seats of power and leadership have a woman dressed in black and red like a black widow. Lucifer the Fool also means to make a show, has authority over the nations. The spirit Antichrist will hide many goddess symbols in a natural environment in plain sight. Here's an example. The spirit uses the natural, the bent arm, to make a show of a chevron. Lucifer's name means to make a show. They have one mind of the same spirit. Spider, spider, burning bright in our media tonight. And the spirit of the world is like a black widow spider, a match for its goddess being unveiled by the blood of the Lamb. Nazi, Orion, Lucifer, and the black widow, all fools. Etymology shows they are fat, shiny, big, loud, prideful, boastful. They make a show, anointed, a false anointing, which is the oil on the body of the black widow. The purpose is so it don't get stuck on its own web, but that oil reflects the light. Like the planet Venus, it has carbon dioxide covering the planet. It reflects light. Lucifer has no light of its own. Highlighting, boast, proud, shine, to make a show. All are in the name of Lucifer. At Strong's Numbers H 1966 from H 1984, halal, to shine, to make a loud cry, like the word Shrek. It's to cry out in praise. It's not a negative word. This is the way of the world, but not Israel. These colors, it's natural, but the world uses the natural things to communicate something unnatural. Here is an image of the goddess religion that leads the world. The number 8 on top. The number 8 on top. This is the new earth symbol. It's similar to Lilith, Black Widow, or Venus on top. She has authority over the nations, and by 8 they come together. Guard the 7, not the 8. Hiding in plain sight. Here. The natural to hide the unnatural. Fools, fools, fools. They have one mind. That's a child, but it's the way of the world. World leaders want you to see a public declaration. Many characteristics of the Black Widow are fear, control, and manipulation. A match to what Cult Watch said about cults years back. Here is a link to Spencer Smith on YouTube. He is a preacher and he shows some details of warning the church. A natural part of a world, but used to highlight the world's religion, showing Lucifer's authority over the nations. The blood of the Lamb reveals the Queen of Heaven. Plus equals heart. It reads 8 and V. That's the name of Inanna in plain sight. It's the plus equals 8, the heart and the V, a chevron, primary goddess symbols, and the name of Inanna, Queen of Heaven. This is verified by the Brick of It's in my testimony video. I'll have articles later released. Matter of fact, it can be read on the worldwidewidow.com website. You can search for it. Search for the Brick of It's in the gallery. This name of Inanna above, it fits in with the fat fertility goddess that was on display in their Christmas show in 2019. Spencer Smith did a report on it. As I'm seeing it, that's Abomination of Desolations. It's in the same spirit and the same likeness. Just as was Antiochus Epiphanes, it is now in our theaters and in our churches. She goes in there and says she is our creator. Blasphemy. A perfect image of Inanna. More public declarations. Public declarations. Public declarations. But Yahweh does it all. There are seven members. Read Revelation 17:1. I showed unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. This is an image that connects to Orion. Orion is above the waters, the firmament. An image of this is in Orion. It sits above the waters. And here, above the waters. That's because we're all in the same likeness. You cannot say America's Babylon because we have the same mindset in all the nations, not just one nation. And this right here is what's ruling them all. And it has 8 legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Tet, the leader. The goddess religion tries to hide, like put their hand in your pocket, hide the hands. Yahweh reveals that Cosmo Ball trailer has the Earth team like a Black Widow. Here filmmakers had painted a picture of the Earth team. Compound eyes right here. The arms here speaks of Zechariah 11:17. How the right arm of the Antichrist will be different. The Black Widow's color here with a little red. And there are 8 on each side. A perfect match. And this is our future, which is happening now. That the world takes on this appearance and its behavior and its goddess to rule over them. This is what the world has aligned to. The mystery religions, to world religions, they all align to this image and the number 8. Christmas, 8-day feast from Saturnalia. Hanukkah, 8-day feast. Passover is 7, not 8. Some count it for 8. That's an error. 8th-day Sunday Sabbath, that's another 8. The plus equals 8. By this, all the world agrees and unites by the number 8. You should know that Yahweh our Creator has done it all. That's why we have 8 bits in our computer systems. He's the clever one who puts it all together. And these are the days He's revealing and opening up these things for us to see. The constellation Orion with B2 giant star. The Super Bowl had showed signs of this goddess religion, and I wrote a page on it. The word Super Bowl came to me when looking again at Orion and Bellatrix B2. Here is a bow of Orion, Super Bowl. But do not fear the lion, but Yahweh who does all these things in His great and mighty works. He's the one who does it all. Orion is called the shepherd of Anu, and Anu has a symbol of a dingur. It's the 8-pointed star that's shared by Ishtar, Inanna, and it's seen right here. Each one, the Mu, Delta, Omicron, B2, Lamed, are here inside this image. The Queen of Heaven, she says, I am. Lucifer wanted to be greater, like the plus sign. It means greater than. That's a picture of Lucifer. And many other things. Our Creator has no limit, so one symbol does not mean just one thing. The female Black Widow is greater, larger than the male. She has 28 chromosomes. The male has 26. A picture of being greater than. Yahweh foretold this female deity to rule in Orion and also in the Black Widow spider. These are 2 great signs. Both images foretold of the COVID-19 variants, Mu, Delta, B2, and Omicron. This is the sovereignty of Yahweh, of whom we trust. World leaders and religious leaders come together by the number 8. Here's an example of how the Messianics and the Christians come together by the number 8. It was speculated many years back that the Christians and Messianics come together because they both use the English name for Jesus. That's not the issue, and it should not be an issue for anybody, because that's the name we were saved by. What we have here is primary goddess symbols, the M right here, in 3 different organizations. I've seen the Sefer Torah scroll at the Lion and Lamb Ministries that had an octagram on top of it. That's an image that I see at the Dome of the Rock in Israel. Is also an octagram on it. Hanukkah is 8. Christmas is 8. That's how they are joined together. And if you keep Passover for 8 days, you're joined together as well. Because you're going against something Scripture didn't say. Troy Brewer offered a prophetic teaching for $8.88. After I'd seen this message from Troy Brewer, a few days later, I met with somebody and they said that Jesus' number is 8 and 888. And he told me that he learned that from Troy Brewer, but he did not have any other answers why that is. And then, as part of my testimony, I'm listening to Chuck Missler, and Chuck Missler says about Gematria, he would not. He suggested not to build your doctrine upon that. We all have different thoughts, but I agree with that, and I believe our Father as well would agree not to make doctrine out of Gematria. His word is different than his numbers. So we have a transgender pastor here with the double dorje. From my past Tibetan Buddhism, I recognize this here is the same. The double cross is also 88. So the letter M was seen on 2 different ministry websites. The one on the right, Troy Brewer. The one on the left, Lion and Lamb. You turn one upside down, it's a perfect match. All you have to do is a line here, and they connect. But that's not the only symbols I've seen. These are all goddess symbols. The M, the secret behind it, like this here M, is the name of Inanna hidden inside of it, and that can be verified. That's a short code to speak the name of Inanna, the letter M. Here, anthropologists have uncovered symbols that Yahweh has shown me match Orion. The image to the left is from the book by Maria Gambutas, The Language of the Goddess. You can read it at archive.org. Neo-M, that's just a thought I had. Nothing has been revealed to me. But the spirit of the world is known. And that's why I put New Mother, because this is the spirit of the world, and that fits. The spider has entered the temple saying she is a goddess. I am, she says. To the left was M8. On his hat is M. On his chest is the number 8. Fentanyl is a match to our stars. Most stars are a red and M class. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And here they are, hiding in plain sight. The word occult means hidden, but Yahweh our Father, the creator of all things, he is the one who unveils for our safety. Just take note that the drug source we mentioned in Revelations is a direct connection to the goddess religion, and the goddess religion is connected to these symbols right here. When you walk in your church and you see this, you know the spirit behind it. The house of Israel does not have this appearance or align to these things. The spider crept in by the number 8, come out of the 8, and guard the 7. Our Father is interested in teaching us about mixture. He mentioned that in Revelations. That's one of the last warnings we got from Yeshua, is that about mixture. 7 and 8 does not mix. It's one or the other, unless he decrees it. Like Sukkot, is for 8, but it's for this purpose, to remind us of Babylon, not to be part of it. Judge not according to appearance, but judge according to righteousness. In John 7:24, I did, and I see that Hanukkah and Christmas are not acts of righteousness. Their intentions may be, but our Father says not to be part of these things of the world, of the nations, or their gods. Do not import them. The Queen of Heaven is the 8th gate. If you want to walk through that gate, that's your choice. Some do Passover 8 days, count 7 as written. Revelations 18:4, and she is the one who's leading and joining the nations by the number 8, because Yah matters the most. Spirit of the world, very clear, spirit of the world. The world's not a vampire, it's a spirit of the world that has aligned to Inanna, the goddess of the nations. A public declaration, public declarations. We don't need rainbow flags. We have many things. This color here, the number 8, the letter M, chevrons, multiple symbols. Hide your hand in the pocket, like all the world leaders have been seen to do. That's their choice. In politics, in media, politics, the scriptures identify the spirit. It has one mind. The horse leech or the vampire has 2 daughters crying, saying, "Give, give." It's the give because of greed. When you feed the black widow, it gets really fat and big. The more you feed it, the bigger it gets. And that's what we have here is 2 black widows. There's 2 of them. It's a pattern of the spirit of this Antichrist that's seen. Chevron right here. They know better. And all the nations is like a black widow spider, says Yah. He has performed it. In the temple, making a show. A week after my conversion from Tibetan Buddhism in Oklahoma City in 1997, I was in a mega church. They tried that on me. His hands were with heat and his eyes red. The Antichrist spirit uses outward signs to prove itself. I did not fall down, and they had red cloths over them. Yahweh of armies has set me apart for his greatness to be known, and I got to enjoy the show. Control, fear, and manipulation are the characteristics of the black widow spider. She displays authority over the church, a dominatrix. And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast full of blasphemy, names of blasphemy. It hides in plain sight. The spirit of the world uses red and says that red is for the blood of Jesus, when they know it is the scarlet color of the beast and the blood of the saints. The Antichrist spirit hides within our own faith with the color red. Here's an example. They put the red letters in our Bibles and give us a red cloth to the Jesus of this world system. He blues, not reds. Zechariah 11:17, the right arm sign, or the arm different. They have one mind. The Buddhist and Jesus of the world is of the same mind, same spirit. Crosses, swastikas in all the world by the number 8. They hide with their own faith. Communicating the number 8. As I look in astronomy, I can see Orion Capella in these configurations. Spirit of the world, like a black widow. The image described here is like Witness Stilber's book, Communion, saying that Ishtar was in the background leading the graves. I read that many years ago, but I remember him pointing that out. It's similar behavior we see here. And it was a female deity that was the one who was most prominent, that ruled over the others. This is the goddess of the Nazis, of the nations. It's the Black Widow behind scenes throughout the world. Goddess religion of the left-hand path. Getting close to Israel. Israel's not immune, but Israel needs to take care and keep this thing out of there. Idolatry. You got to get the idolatry out. No Hanukkah for 8 days. Passover 7 days. Otherwise you place 88 upon your nation. Liberation in the palm of your hand was one of my favorite Buddhist textbooks. It matches this spirit. The ILTV Plus here, they have made the list. There are many more. And it's not just one symbol either. There's many ways to recognize the difference between the kingdom of Yah and the kingdom of darkness. Note the hourglass here to match. That's their narrative. It's the spirit of the world, like a black widow. Yahweh has proven his sovereignty. You can trust in him. I looked at the etymology for the name Kamala and see the color red built into her name, and the goddess is built into her name, and the word ruler built into her name. And here's what Yahweh showed to me, the Ida Red picture, the film. Since I'm from Oklahoma, I thought to take a look. And I see a match. It's Ida Red. A goddess, a red goddess. It's the spirit of the world that's in agreement. But Yahweh verifies his message. Here is an image from Zoroastrianism, where my Tibetan Buddhism came from, Hinduism, out of Persia and Iran, and it moved into India, Himalayas. This is the the work of the anthropologists have agreed that Zoroastrianism had took that path. That's up to each person to see that. I have a list of things in Zoroastrianism that are seen in Tibetan Buddhism, the Roman Catholic Church, the evangelicals, in each of the religions. Here the eye is different to reflect Zechariah 11:17. Here is the right eye. You should see that's the face. Right here, the face. But Yahweh does it. A lot of people use this picture and showed, I took note, and this is what I see. Foot claws right here. Wings right here. Like this image here. Just things I've seen. Yahweh has all the answers. We don't. And the seal is the number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the head 8. 3 on top and 3 on bottom, and the sides. Hiding in plain sight. Our nation is in trouble. Our leadership needs to get right. Here is the name of Inanna. Inanna has been placed in unbelievable places throughout the world. The world's leadership is like a black widow. You are seeing for yourself. The image of Lucifer, the goddess religion of the world system, and sin nature, all are in the likeness of a black widow spider. Females outnumber men, just as a female black widow is larger than the male. I do all these things, says Yahweh. 8 is greater than. 8 is 8. The cross is the 8, greater than 7, Israel. The nations and Israel. The Lactrodectus hesperus, the western black widow, has 28 chromosomes, female, male 26. This here image matches this image, and this image matches Orion, and Orion matches the entire world by number, symbols, philosophy, its religions and mystery religions, and who knows what else. You can trust in our Father, the Creator Yahweh. He is sovereign. Question marks. Question marks. Question mark. I did a review on Batman and seen many things. I was shown many things by our Father. His kindness and His greatness was known. The Celtic Cross, the Zodiac Killer, Wagner Group, Richard Wagner, who has influenced a lot of comics with his Nazi music, or if you want to say German, neo-Nazi, whatever. 88 Rule, the goddess Lucifer. All these things were seen in the Batman film. You can read here at this link. The word her, H-E-R, is a goddess reference. Her is Old English for here. Here is Old English for army. She's a goddess of war, but Yahweh of armies, He does it all. He's the commander of the whole battle. Yahweh of armies is the painter, her, and director of the show. I do all these things, says Yahweh, by and through Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Yeshua Messiah. The King is kind and wants us to open our eyes. Call upon Him, He will turn none away. The powers of Yahweh are terrifying and mighty, and we trust in Him. Unity, nor world order or globalism is honoring her by the 8th. This is how the nations are joined together, and you will be joined with it as well if you don't separate. That's the whole message in Revelations is mixture. So when you see the people wearing the colors of Black Widow, it's a natural color, but you don't put your own clothes on. I have many testimonies for that. We think we do our lives, but we're not the ones who put our lives together. It's our Father, the Creator. He is the one who has done all these things. Now, if Elohim has clothed you in the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is thrown out into the oven, will He not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? It's Yahweh our Father who does it all. Trust in Him.